Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof videos. Today I'm going to show you another battle replay. This is the one I received from Spartan Assassin and it is a settlement siege battle. Spartan wrote for us a little intro, so basically I declared an independence war against the Kingdom of Song and not long after that reached king rank. Killed the Emperor of Song, Zun, third leader after Yuan Shao died, and then forced march to defend Zindu fishing port. Then the new empress came and struck. The new empress you can see over here as a Yuan Meng Ying, and she also has the help of Bi Cui and Huang Yi. Our general has the strategist, the duelist, and the vanguard, which he has placed on his left flank, while the enemy general comes at him with two strategists and a vanguard. The vanguard is attacking at the center with the most powerful of the infantry units. On the two remaining entrances to this fishing village, there are no enemy units attacking and therefore no friendly units defending. So as we can see, there are three places that the battle is going to take place: the middle, the left, and the right flank. On the left flank, watching from the perspective of our general, there are these crossbowmen which are supported by another unit of archers, and then the spear and infantry units also with a cav unit. On the middle we have the elites, we have the warriors of Yi, 3 units of them, considering they are backed up by a vanguard general, a cav unit and some infantry and a crossbowman unit. This is a very powerful middle attack unit. And on this flank we have the trebuchets which are going to keep firing off onto the encampment and the village, the fishing village. They are going to try and take out these towers as well as the infantry units. We have another unit of warriors of Yi, some more spearmen, some more saber militia, and also another unit of crossbowmen. But the trebuchets are going to exchange fire over the course of the battle, with the players, with our general's trebuchets targeting the enemy trebuchets and trying to take them out of action. The cavalry that is here on the right flank is going to be waiting for an opportunity to attack these trebuchets once they are left undefended. This cavalry is pretty much damaged and has only a few men per unit, but it should be sufficient to deal a strike against a single unit of crossbowmen, archers, or the trebuchets. On each of these entrances to this village, which are under attack by the enemy's general, our general has set up his spearmen, 2 units on each gate. Well, it's not a gate but an entrance, and he has already set them up in a turtle formation. This means that they gain charge resistance and range block chance. Now this is going to prevent the enemy general from using his bows on these units, but crossbows on these units, but he will have no qualms about using them on these back units, which are just in regular formation and have no defense against these range attackers. Now on the left flank we can see the fire arrows starting to rain down, and their target is the building that is the tower that is actually shooting arrows at the attacking force. So with each arrow striking it, the flame arrows are doing fire damage, which is eventually be able to burn down this tower. This is something that the archers gonna keep doing during this entire battle, and with their units being supported by spearmen and these saber militia and also this cavalry unit of saber militia, it is not possible for our general to somehow attack these units if they're not left alone. Our general leaves his vanguard over here on this flank pretty much during the entire battle. He doesn't have a very high melee or a range of melee power, but he could have been useful at least as a general who is going to bring up the morale of units, because in the middle we can see that the crossbowmen have found their target in the Yi infantry captain, and this unit is going to be hammered very much with the inability to hide behind anything, and we can see the first man starting to fall. the spearmen are ignored because of their turtle formation, which would just shrug off any shot crossbow bolts, but that is why the infantry captain is gonna get the worst of those crossbow bolts. Now let's see what happens with and the men flee the battlefield. That's over here. The spear warriors were shot pretty much dead by the trebuchet with a good amount of hits, and you can see a lot of dead bodies right underneath here. So the trebuchet is going to be a real problem, especially because it takes a long time for these infantry units to move away from it and allow our general to attack it with cavalry. We can see another trebuchet ball about to hit, and there goes one more man flying through the air, crashing over here, most definitely dead. So this unit was heavily damaged from these trebuchets, but we see return fire coming down, and it's gonna strike the rightmost trebuchet, hopefully. Let's see this. Yep, we got some good damage on the trebuchets, and there are probably a few men here that were killed and should reduce the operational status of these trebuchets. Now we can let the battle go into main speed and watch the first wave coming in. You can see here that the enemy general has used loose formation. He is getting pummeled by these towers, and he doesn't have any fire arrows here, which is preventing him from taking them down. Now there are archers and bow militia in our general's army, but I haven't seen any of them take any shots at the enemy, and I'm not the moment sure why that is so.
Make haste! Hurry! Move out quickly! Go! Go! Formation!
We can see that the enemy units has finally reached here, and they slam into the spear guards, which are going to take damage slowly, as a lot of these units are just going to pile up, and as you can see, they do not have high effectiveness because this is a small area and all 4 units just cannot get there. So a lot of these units are just going to stand back here. This would be an excellent place to shoot arrows, but our general doesn't seem to use any.
You will fall.
Now here we can see that he sends his general straight to through his own formation to start this duel, and these 2 characters are now going to start a duel here in the middle of this fight. The units have created a ring for them, and we can zoom in here closer to watch this fight happen. So this is a vanguard against a duelist. The duelist was already at 50% HP and damaged by that charge, and the vanguard has taken some damage also, probably from the towers and the infantry. Now this battle is going to take a while, so we're going to use this opportunity to look over what's happening on the other wings. On the left flank, after destroying 1 tower, the archers with their fire arrows are continuing to attack the 2nd tower, while our player is setting up his defenses here, seeing that there is going to be an attack made by these units. The catapults are still targeting it, and now they're actually targeting each other, with our player having to move his catapults because of the enemy's fire. Attacked, we can see a lot of units attacking, but not in a formation, and they're attacking a spear unit in turtle formation like on the other places to enter this village. They're not going to have much success, especially because there are 2 units back to back. Now the defending player could have tried and spread these 2 units out so that they would equally take the pressure, but since the attacking general isn't going to try and move around them, having them back to back is an option as well. You can see up there that the cavalry started to chase down after these crossbowmen, and we can see a few of these cavalrymen jumping into this unit and really damaging them. They're down to 105 men, but they are just running around although they could just as well turn around and start shooting at this cavalry, which doesn't have a high amount of men per unit and could easily run. But our general is now going to use this cavalry on to those trebuchets, one of which was actually damaged and destroyed by the general's trebuchets targeting them. So now we can see the charge of the cavalry getting to the trebuchets, and it's going to chase away the trebuchet crew. It is shot from the back by those crossbowmen, but there is nothing these guys can do. There are just too few of them. And their target are the trebuchet personnel who are now running away, and this is an excellent opportunity for these guys to run them down and finally destroy them, as we can see happening here.
The enemy general is fallen. They were no match. Hurry! Run! Run!
On this right flank, we can see that the spearmen are holding ground against another host of units attacking them, and they're not going around just trying to go through them, but they do lose men every now and then because they cannot hold against superior units. Here as well, they are down to 53 men, and they're attacked by 3 of these hero gold units. The cavalry is standing back, knowing that it cannot do anything. Over here we can see that the turtle formation has been taken by these 3 units, and they are awaiting the charge on the left flank from first the saber militia, and then we'll see what other units are going to charge. We can see from the back that the crossbowmen and the archers are shooting over here above these turtle formations into these archers, and we can see the charge happening. Because of the turtle formation, this charge is repelled, but the men will fight hand to hand, and this will drain the number of men in this unit. There is still no firing back from these archers, and like I said, I'm not completely sure why this is so. If anybody knows, and if the owner of this replay knows, I would really love to hear why these archers weren't actually shooting. We can see at the middle that these units of spearmen is very tired, down to 35 men, and it is potentially going to break very soon, which means that the next unit will have to take over. On the right flank, the same thing is happening. This unit is down to 42, but the enemy has been thinned out as well. And now the trebuchets from our general are taking potshots at this grouping of these units. The general, which was the strategist, is running away. And over here on the left flank, the strategist also with his cavalry retinue has continued on forward, and they are now close to charging this formation. We can see here that the archer militia is actually going in melee mode to attack, but with this huge blob here, the heavy spear guards are just going to have to hold on until the second unit comes in and tries to defend. On the right flank, we can see a full retreat of the enemy units. They were unable to break through this first unit, which is down to 32 guards, and we can see the trebuchets still doing lots of damage to these fleeing units. In the middle, there is also full retreat, as another unit of spear guards down to 30 has managed to defend this path here as well. So now this leaves just the left side, and these spearmen are heavily outnumbered, but still fighting in here. The problem is the towers here are totally destroyed, and therefore there's no help from them. This unit of archers was completely annihilated by the enemy's archer fire and crossbowmen, but they are now in melee mode attacking these spearmen. These spearmen are now going to flee, and this is going to end up with the second row taking the brunt of the enemy's charge. Now these spearmen are alone, but they do have backup here with Yi militia that is going to be the last line of defense. The question is, can these spearmen hold on against all of these units. The AI could try and push through onto the edges, but it's questionable because it's a really narrow gap. The enemy strategist here is for support, as well as our general strategist is here for support. But with the middle of this battle won and the right flank won, there's a lot of units here freed up to try and help over here. We can see that the strategist is now charging in, and the cavalry has charged in as well. But they do not have any chances of defeating anything here, especially now with more units coming in to fill up the gaps. So now the entire enemy formation is in flight, and it is now going to retreat from this battle, which means that this battle has now been won. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.